Sup, Fiona here, ready to make another video. Now last time you guys probably watched the last video when I was ranking all the Hasbro Wave 1 Beyblades. Well, I said I'd do the rest of the waves soon, and here is the ranking for Wave 2. So, yeah, I'm just going to tell you which bays are going to be ranked for rank 2. You have Claw Leone, 560 point, Lance Knight, 480 high needle, Sting Unicorn, 560 gear point, Roar Tyranno, 960 gear flat, Scythe Incendio, 380 ball, Savage Bear, 360 spike, the Yell Kong, 360 gear ball, and Helm Knight, 580 taper dual pack, the Bike Croc, 360 low flat, and Sting Unicorn, 460 point dual pack, and last, the Gale Wyvern, 580 gear ball pack, and the Tail Viper, 580 high needle pack. So yeah, let's just get into it. Excuse me. First, you have Claw Leone, 560 point. This, I'm going to put in avoid as if possible. Claw Leone 560 point is a balance type. The Claw Leone blade is inconsistent, meaning like it's not sharp enough for attack, but it's too light for defense. So it's one of those blades that's supposed to be balanced, but just sucks at everything. It's definitely inconsistent, as a lot of those professional bladers say. For the 560 ratchet, like I said in the previous video, is actually good, especially on like builds like Cobalt Dragoon 560 Elevate. It definitely has some weight to it. The point bit is also good because it's able to attack at first and then go stationary afterwards. It can do either depending on how you launch, a consistent enough bit. But there are more beneficial ways from what I've seen to get like 560 and point. So I just say avoid this if possible. At most, I would have put in mid/okay, but I feel like avoid if possible is good because, like I said, 560 point you can get from other beneficial products. Next, we have Lance Knight, 480 high needle. Excuse me. This is a never buy. The Lance Knight blade is a really outclassed defense blade. Like, you're not gonna get any defense out of it because it's too light. A lot of problems with the defense types is that they're too light to defend and their parts suck. It's too light, and I feel like the shape is too sharp for defense. The 480 ratchet is bad, and the high needle ratchet, which is 1mm higher than high needle, is bad. So yeah, I definitely avoid Lance Knight. This defense type is definitely bad. Next, we have Sting Unicorn 560 gear point. I'm putting this in a great buy. The Sting Unicorn blade is overall overclassed, but I feel like it still has some potential. One side is attack based that's sharp, and the other side is defense based that is round. So overall, you get definitely balanced defined blades there. The 560 ratchet, like I mentioned, is a good ratchet, heavy enough on those like Cobalt Dragoon Elevate builds. And then gear point is just point, but with gears extracted all the way to the end. It's the second fastest balance type bit, but unlike the fastest, which is called Zap, gear point actually has more stamina. So you have speed and stamina at the same time. So gear point definitely still good these days. So yeah, definitely a great buy. Next is Roar Tyranno 960 gear flat. I'm also putting this in great buys. The Roar Tyranno blade is actually based off the Sword Phoenix blade, in which, if you saw the last video, is actually a really good blade. Roar Tyranno is only slightly lighter. Usually the remake bays are bad because they're lighter, but because Sword Phoenix was heavy in the first place, Roar Tyranno still has a lot of weight to it. Not to mention the blade is round, so it actually is better at defense than Sword Phoenix. The 960 ratchet on Roar Tyranno, like on the Sword Phoenix, is really tight and arguably the best ratchet out there right now, especially on those like defense and stamina builds. And like Sword Phoenix, also comes with gear flat, and you're not really gonna get anything out of gear flat unless you make like a really fast combo. But gear flat's not that competitive, but it is worth it as like a cheaper option if you want a 960 and a similar blade to Sword Phoenix. This is a cheaper option, so this is a great buy. Next, we have Scythe Incendio 380 ball. This I'm putting in avoid if possible. Because Scythe Incendio Blade overall is, like I said, although it is outclassed, I've seen it used before, so I feel like it has at least a bit of potential. 380 is a bad ratchet, and ball is still a great bit, so it is a cheap way to get ball and a very decent blade. The ratchet is bad, but I wouldn't put in never buy, because the parts definitely, like, ball is great and the Scythe Incendio blade is decent, so you might get a little bit out of this. Although I recommend getting other releases like seen in the last videos that are like the good ones, especially if they already have those parts. Next we have Savage Bear 360 Spike, never buy. Savage Bear is a defense type. It's based off Horn Rhino. Like in the last video you probably saw, Horn Rhino absolutely sucks because it's supposed to knock the opponent back, but the way it's designed, both opponents end up getting knocked back. And because of how light it is, Horn Rhino gets knocked back mainly. And Savage Bears, like I said, the remakes are lighter, so Savage Bear is lighter than Horn Rhino, which makes it worse. 360 is a good ratchet, but there are better ways to get 360. And Spike, like I said, is also a bad bit, so just skip on Savage Bear. Next, we have the Yell Kong 360 Gear Ball Stamina type and the Helm Knight 580 Taper Balance type dual pack. I'm still thinking where I should put this one. I'm just going to put in never buy because the Yell Kong blade is based off Gale Wyvern, a blade which you'll see lastly. It's light and it has gaps at the top, so no matter what ratchet you use, it's easy to burst. The 360 ratchet, like I said, it's great, but there are more beneficial ways to get it, like the Sword Dran or Keel Shark. And Gear Ball overall is garbage because it's ball but gears all the way to the bottom. Makes it slightly faster but at the cost of stamina. And it's not even fast enough to hit the extreme line. So basically just it's just like a double-edged sword. Only if like both edges made you lose, if you know what I mean. Helm Knight, like I said in the last video, bad defensive blade. 580 is a bad ratchet because it's too big. And Taper, although it may have some potential, it definitely is outclassed. So yeah, just don't bother with this pack. Next, we have the Bite Croc 360 low flat attack type and Sting Unicorn 460 point balance type dual pack. I guess I'll just put this in mid/okay because the Bite Croc blade is based off Keel Shark. Bite Croc's actually the same case as Roar Tyranno. It's slightly lighter, but it's rounder, so it helps with defense too. And in the case of these two, the slight weight loss doesn't do anything, unlike bays like Savage Bear and Yell Kong. And it comes with 360, which is a great ratchet, and then low flat, which, although outclassed, I feel like still definitely has potential. The Sting Unicorn blade, like I said, also overall is a decent blade. The 460 ratchet you should not use because it's not good. And the point bit, like I said, is still overall a good consistent bit. You know what? I think I'll just put this in gray because I feel like overall, actually no, it can stay in mid. I'll keep it in mid because there are cheaper ways to get these parts, but I definitely will be fine if you get this double pack. Last and definitely least, we have the Gale Wyvern 580 Gear Ball Stamina type and Tail Viper 380 High Needle excuse me, defense type dual pack. This dual pack is absolutely garbage. There's nothing good from it. The Gale Wyvern blade, like I said before, there's like gaps in it. Sorry about that. There's gaps in it, so it's easy to burst. You have the sorry, why am I stuttering? Anyways, the Gale Wyvern blade is meant for stamina, but it's also light, and because there's gaps, it's way easier to burst than other stamina blades. The 580 ratchet, yeah, the 580 ratchet is also trash because it's way easy to burst despite how sick it is. And Gear Ball, like I said, is also garbage. It's the worst ball out there, one of the worst bits out there. The Tail Viper blade is also not that good these days because it's too light compared to other stamina blades. 380 is garbage and High Needle is garbage. So you're not going to get anything, I mean absolutely anything out of this dual pack. So don't even bother getting it for competitive reasons. So yeah, that's the list. Wave 2 did not have a lot to it, but you'll be surprised in the next video when I show Wave 3 that there's one less product, so like 8 overall. And that Wave 3 had to be Hasbro's worst wave ever. Although we only have like 2 good releases. The rest are either decent or trash. So yeah, you'll see in the next video, Wave 3. So we have none in must buy. That really shows you how bad Wave 2 and 3 are. But starting Wave 4, things start to get better. So yeah, there's nothing in must buy. In Great Buys, we have Sting Unicorn 560 gear point and Roar Tyranno 960 gear flat. In mid/okay, we have the Bike Croc 360 low flat and Sting Unicorn 460 point dual pack. In Avoid, if possible, we have Claw Leon 560 point and Scythe Incendio 380 ball. And then in the Never Buy, you have Lance Knight 480 high needle, Savage Bear 360 spike, the Yell Kong 360 gear ball, and Helm Knight 580 taper dual pack, and the Gale Wyvern 580 gear ball, and Tail Viper 380 high needle dual pack. So yeah, that's the list for Wave 2. I hope you guys find this beneficial. Wave 3 will come out ASAP. Thank you guys for watching. Fear Knight out.